have something planned if they leave it up.
Now, Xerath is considered a very good matchup in this. We did see Veigar come out for Nisqy. It was actually against the Corki in the regular season, and this was a lane that Nisqy did dominate. Both their regular season matches came down to that mid lane, and Veigar's gonna get locked in for game one.
And that's exactly what I was looking for. If you leave it up, you have to have a plan to kill it. The cage from Veigar. Very, very damaging stun here. Can lead to a lot of problems for Azir. So we'll look at Jensen. Will he take the cleanse? How are they going to deal with that?
Yeah, you cannot dash through that box. You will get actually stunned up. And that is problematic not just for the Azir, but if you're looking at team fighting, Rakan, Sejuani, Aatrox, all wanting to fly forward into the Cloud9 team, will have to do so through that event horizon, which can be very problematic.
Cloud9 were 2-0 versus Team Liquid in the regular season, and their first win was with Veigar. Bringing back the champion now, Nisqy versus the mid laner that he replaced is going to try and attack him early.
And so much onus now, I feel, on Cloud9 to be proactive with this Xin Zhao. When you're looking down at Sejuani, Azir, DoubleLift having the Xayah, there is so much powerful team fighting and frontline on Team Liquid that if you think it comes to late game 5v5, that could be problematic for Cloud9, so they want to get the ball rolling here early.
I mean, between the Xin Zhao and the Thresh, the initiation potential is there, especially when you consider the speed from Karma and Sivir assisting these champions. But on the other side of the board, you've got Sejuani, you've got the ability to go in with the Emperor's Divide for the follow-up as well. Rakan is there. There are so many tools for both teams, and that makes this first game draft so exciting for me.
Better get excited for game one of the finals. Team Liquid are playing meta, and Cloud9 are playing to counter the meta.
The champions are out onto the rift. The towers come to life, and the summer finals officially begin here. Team Liquid and Cloud9. 3 games means you win it all.
Now, somewhere I am going to have my eyes on in these first couple levels really is that top side. Karma, starting with that level 1 mantra with the ultimate, you are going to be running this lane for those first 3-4 levels before Aatrox starts getting access to more CDR, more points in the queue, and can begin to look to fight back.
There is a lot of emphasis on the early stages for the Karma versus Aatrox matchup, because later on, after Aatrox gets the ultimate and there are wards around for the junglers, he can have kill pressure on the Karma. So Karma has to make use of the early advantage. Early on, Licorice, range advantage, and Klepto is going to try and mine as much of those procs off this Aatrox and bully impact as much as possible.
And as the minions collide here, we're going to take a step back and hear from what we heard earlier from Svenskeren and his thoughts on DoubleLift.
Yeah, I think I've been kind of jealous the last 2 years of DoubleLift just winning everything. I feel like when we were playing together on TSM, I didn't really realize how important he is to a team, that really whenever the game, like the series really matters the most, he's able to always show up and just shot call. I think that's one of his greatest attributes, and it's something I've been trying to learn from him over the last 2 years of just constantly like losing, is that when the game really matters the most, like you just have to be loud and show emotion. And I think I finally got some of that.
Finally getting some of Jensen there in the mid lane now too, but it's going to be Xmithie coming in for the counter gank. Svenskeren is slowed down. More of those procs going to be applied. Stun over the wall. Xmithie will find the CC, but Jensen is too low to follow up. The 2v2 continues, but both sides will disengage.
Yeah, very intelligently, Nisqy was actually focusing Jensen as they chase Svenskeren, and he gets him low enough that they cannot continue that chase, but critical early counter gank there for Xmithie.
And look at the sustain for this lane. No potions left for Azir, no charges left on the corrupting potion for Nisqy. Everything expended from both teams. They know how pivotal the mid lane matchup is.
And as we see both these junglers contributing towards the mid lane here early on, the stat that popped up on the side of your screen, it was a 5-0-6 score line for this Veigar of Nisqy when they played Team Liquid with it before. It was almost a third of the team's entire damage output. The man can pop off on this champion. I'm not surprised to see Xmithie making sure he hovers around here to stop Cloud9 from playing through it.
Yeah, and something I actually noticed here, very interesting, it's actually the Relentless Hunter taken from Nisqy. So that is out of combat move speed, which tells me he does want to get out on the map. He does want to be moving down around and perhaps focusing that bottom lane.
Very typical with this player. We looked at the location of the kills for Nisqy, one of the mid laners in the LCS that roams most frequently and has some of the highest kills and assists pre-15 minutes into the game.
Bottom side, DoubleLift and CoreJJ taking control of this lane early on. Xayah and Rakan very powerful in lane, especially early with the ability to synergize those Ws, fling the feathers out, make Zeyzal and Sneaky hang back a while until that wave clear comes online.
And as you expect here, the Xayah Rakan pushing out with DoubleLift and CoreJJ getting this early lead in CS. The C9 duo trying to stay safe, trying to deal with the minions and keep them off of the turret plates.
Yeah, and you can see even their itemization kind of goes alongside that, right? It is Doran's shield, defensive for Sneaky, as well as the coin to help just play this a little bit more passively and keep that income up.
Zeyzal gets a hook there, but considering the follow-up damage isn't too much to be spoken about, it won't turn into much. And you expect this Team Liquid bottom lane to pop off. You expect these guys. This duo lane was 2 out of 3 of the finalists for the MVP vote. DoubleLift and CoreJJ are constantly just being a step above their opponent.
You have to look at the small mechanics that are going on in this lane. Just there, we saw Sneaky use the spell shield without actually blocking a spell. That is costly for your mana, and we talk about controlling the minions. That all is determined by your mana resource there. Without that, the Sivir isn't able to do the job as effectively. So it's these small things that do start to add up in the lane. You have to keep your eye on. If you want to take a little pro view, then you can have a closer look.
Now, critical first buy here for Licorice. It is actually the Lost Chapter, so this is not going to be tank karma. This is not an Iceborne rush to try to dominate this lane. This is more about the wave clear, and this is going to allow you to be more effective in the team fight stage as well, with the additional burst that the eventual Ludens will give you, and the extra AP for shielding up these hyper carries that are going to be on the bottom side of the map.
Plus, as the game goes forward, you can then transition into a more supportive style build if that's what you want to opt into later on, or just get your favorite headgear, start packing even more AP, and send those inner flame missiles straight into the lines of Team Liquid. But after that first 2v2 that happened in the mid lane, the junglers haven't gotten involved with a whole lot else just yet, as the trades continue.
And the big reason is for that, this guy, Svenskeren, the MVP, with him blowing his flash, it makes it very dangerous for Xin Zhao in the early stages of the game without a lot of extra vision to be confident in making those offensive plays. We mentioned the weakness of this champion has always been it's not flexible in the mobility on the map. He can only charge to enemy targets and cannot get out of a bad situation if he finds himself without an ally.
Svenskeren on the Zeyzal, normally a pretty exceptional duelist for a champion, but he's 1 level down against Xmithie. Gonna continue chasing towards this one now. Impact's coming in for the collapse first. World Ender already used. There comes the Emperor's Divide, and there goes first blood. Team Liquid's able to make it 1. Will they find number 2? Nisqy's about to be put in the dirt, and Licorice has to flash away. Impact continues the chase, but the blast cone will keep Licorice alive.
Team Liquid illustrate our point cleaner than any instructional video could. Svenskeren's flashless Xin Zhao immediately punished as they chase Xmithie into the jungle. Impact roaming down from top lane first.
And you could see Team Liquid was expecting this mid lane pressure. You know, multiple wards were already set up around this mid lane trying to protect, and it was actually the battle on that top lane pink ward.
Now we got a 2v2 on the bottom side. Sneaky's gonna be taken very low. Zeyzal tried so damn hard to save him, but the hook will not do it.
Yeah, not able to, and bad goes to worse here in the early game for Cloud9 as they're thwarted around that mid lane. TL anticipating that jungle pressure and there to meet it, and then this amazing bottom lane getting what they needed to on the bottom side. And Svenskeren going aggressive, but he's starting from such an HP disadvantage and down a level that with the earlier roam from Impact, this is always going to be a TL fight.
And you can look at, the miscommunication here maybe as far as the roam coming down. It's very, very dangerous play to go for. And this has huge ramifications for the rest of this game. Given the 2-team composition that we have in the opener, bottom lane also getting this kill here. Even though Zeyzal hooks CoreJJ out of that knockup, DoubleLift just continues to walk forward on the Xayah with the extra attack speed, takes him down. Ignite was used and kill granted to Team Liquid.
Plays across the map for TL, 8 minutes into this game, puts them just shy of 2,500 gold up over their opponents. And Cloud9, with this early game jungler, with this carry in the Sivir and the Veigar that need time to scale up, will have to find a way to make sure this does not balloon any further.
And you're going to have to be worried about CoreJJ now. Early Moby Boots purchase, he is going to be looking to get out of this lane and affect the rest of the map.
You're going to have to really worried about Jensen. He had a level and a half lead over Nisqy after that last skirmish because the minion wave was also in Team Liquid's favor. Azir is one of the best scaling champions on 9.15. And Jensen with the early lead here, even getting one of the early kills, is going to fund Team Liquid's mid game.
Xmithie now with the ultimate available on the Sejuani as well. We'll see what he's able to accomplish with this champion. CoreJJ and DoubleLift have both left the bottom lane, clearing some of the vision out of that bottom side of the river. With the control they have over this bottom half of the map, Team Liquid feels confident moving into enemy territory, taking control of the jungle.
Exactly, and this is actually them showing their preparation for this match. They know how much C9 likes to play through mid, then take the pressure from mid and go to bot. Everything is warded up.
No flash on Jensen.
Svenskeren coming in for the gank, but they won't do much. Jensen's able to slide out before the event horizon connects.
I mean, it's really this whole section of the map that now all belongs to TL. All around here is TL vision, and they are trying to set up for and counter out what they're anticipating Cloud9 wants to do based on their regular season matches, based on Cloud9 semifinals, and this really does speak to the level of preparation that the three-time champions have brought to this match.
And those champions are now taking the Cloud Drake. They found the opportunity to get that free of charge. Bottom lane and mid lane both shoved up into the Cloud9 turrets, meant there was no way to respond.
All right, Cloud9 now in a very dangerous situation. They do have the critical flash on Svenskeren back up now, and level 6 with Xin Zhao. You can actually ult flash to try and get these knockbacks in the correct places, flash into a good place where you'll actually separate the enemy team in a favorable position for your teammates to pick up kills. But in order to do that, this vision that you're mentioning, Azael, you have to be able to track the enemy positions. It even becomes more difficult since the extra move speed on the side of Team Liquid with that Cloud Drake means they can respond very quickly. So Cloud9 have to be so precise with their next play as the game is already slipping out of their hands.
And they know that they need to really be able to find those opportunities, as you're saying, 4 plays. And I think, seeing the Proto Belt being built up here for Nisqy, that is going to give more additional opportunities as well. You can look for kind of traps with the Proto Belt into the cage, gain a little bit of distance there to try to set up for these potential ganks. But it is Xmithie and Impact both here, 4-man from TL.
Talking about the setup, it's Nisqy thrown back into the Team Liquid lines. Svenskeren looking to come in, keep his ally alive. Instead, he's going to be taken very low, taken down. Jensen still able to get himself away. Nisqy's not going to find the damage. Licorice grabbing the kill to CoreJJ. Sneaky comes in from the side to continue to assist Cloud9. And this one's going to be turned around. A double for Sneaky, and Cloud9 win the fight.
TL get to the mid lane so much faster there, but CoreJJ was not able to get a hold of anyone. The cage was very well placed from Nisqy. They bought time for Sneaky, who was that extra man, to roam up and really help to turn that fight around.
Definitely some much needed kills, but during that time, DoubleLift was the member for Team Liquid that did not join the mid fight, and he spent that time finishing off the bottom tower. All plates have been taken by the Team Liquid bottom lane, in addition to the first turret bonus.
And that is solo plate and first turret gold going over to DoubleLift there. He is going to be so rich. TL look like they are going to crush this fight. 4 members showing up, but look at this. Not able to actually get the charm over onto Nisqy, then locked down in the cage is CoreJJ. CoreJJ really wasn't able to accomplish much in this fight.
Yeah, as you can see, the roam over here as well from Sneaky finally cuts off that extra kill onto Jensen. So Cloud9 actually get the money where they want it, onto the Sivir, because with the game slipping away into Team Liquid's hands, their hope is now to have Sneaky with multiple crit items be able to carry a team fight.
And when you're looking at the gold differential between these two bottom laners, Sneaky just got 2 kills on that roam, and yet he is still 1,200 gold behind. So those were critical kills. If you make that move and don't get that payoff, you are desperately behind.
But I like the fact that they went for the move. They knew how far behind they were. They made that happen. Yes, you're leaving that turret vulnerable to DoubleLift. And yes, he got a lot of money for himself, but Cloud9 is not a team to simply let Liquid run away with the early game.
And very clearly, the next steps when you take down bottom lane uncontested, Team Liquid can swap their bottom lane up to the top side of the map where the Rift Herald is. They've already taken the dragon off the map, so there's nothing for Cloud9 to try and answer with. Team Liquid pressuring this Rift Herald. They actually draw it out, and C9 have all members here. You can see on the map, Impact is split pushing down there with the Aatrox with the teleport advantage. So they're just trying to delay Cloud9 and slowly bleed them out of more resources.
And as we could be getting into a neutral territory fight here soon, it is very important to keep our eyes on which resources are available. Ultimates up across the board. Flash down for Svenskeren, down for Nisqy, down for CoreJJ. Everybody else has that ready to go as Team Liquid will pick up the uncontested Rift Herald. There's only 8 seconds left in the turret plating, so they won't grab the extra money from that one, even if they summon it
Shelly better
immediately.
get her Nikes on.
Yeah, she better be running up there, but I don't think she'll make it in time. The plates are gone, but that does mean with a Shelly charge and a few auto attacks, Team Liquid can take down another turret.
Yeah, and putting more gold there into the hands of DoubleLift, the winningest player in North American history now. Certainly set up to carry in this game, and even this Karma versus Aatrox matchup, we talked about the early levels and the early stage being favorable for the Karma. Impact has picked up a lot of extra gold from these kills, has a ton of CDR in his pockets. When he completes that Black Cleaver, this is going to be very, very difficult for Licorice. He's reached a stage of the game where he's building towards Ardent Sensor and support items, and that is not going to be a favorable 1v1 at any point for the rest of the game.
Yeah, a 1v1 is going to be difficult, as well as a 5-on-5. Aatrox is a massive team fight threat. The one counter that Cloud9 have drafted for themselves, though, is, again, the big cage from Nisqy. They're hoping that this Veigar control of the area of the team fight will set up Zeyzal for the Thresh to land the more difficult skill shots.
But as we continue moving towards what is now the mid-game, as we've seen the laning phase end here, second Drake spawns, and on spawn, immediately taken by TL. Cloud9 knows these fights in neutral territory are just not plausible at this point.
Yeah, they really are not. With the advantage that TL has, with the vision advantage that TL has, they have got to play it slow. They have got to play it safe. C9 needs to wait for that perfect opportunity, and it really just becomes a question of, will TL actually show that to them?
All right, CoreJJ trying to get some deeper vision here. Since they've rotated their powerful resources up to the top side, they're trying to get vision to see if Cloud9 try and send anything to answer. So they know Svenskeren's here. You can see on the minimap, Azir coming up too.
DoubleLift going real hard here. Sneaky taken down to 200 HP. DoubleLift having to pop the ulti to make sure he doesn't overstep his bounds.
Yeah, this is an aggressive move to actually push Sneaky back to base. He's not running teleport, so that essentially means you send him back to base, that turret is yours. And Cloud9 are actually going to evacuate the top side of the map. So that is an aggressive play, more so for the turret pressure than the kill.
There's a reason why people talk about DoubleLift so often. And specifically versus Sneaky, DoubleLift's game score in playoff games is 12-2. Only losing those 2 games back in 2016. So he has absolutely dominated this matchup. And in game number 1 here, it looks to be no different. Team Liquid, very, very strong.
And especially when you consider the context of the stories of these bottom lanes throughout Summer Split. We've talked about how DoubleLift and CoreJJ are both best in their positions, and for Sneaky and Zeyzal, the bottom lane of Cloud9 has been experiencing more struggles in this Summer Split than they have in almost any other, by most accounts.
Yeah, we do have to remember, though, that both of the C9 versus TL regular season games, C9's bottom lane fell behind in the early stages, but then was able to pick it up in the later stages. Sneaky having some late game pop-offs on the Ezreal in their last one, and C9 now fishing with that event horizon from Nisqy. So there is still the opportunity for Sneaky to be set up for success in these later stages. This is going to be an Athene second, it looks like, for the Karma. He is going to have that support and does have the opportunity to carry.
And with a champion like Sivir, and especially when you've got a guy next to you like the Veigar, the scaling on these champions is just through the roof. You can't ask for much better. So Cloud9 can at least count on that as we move forward, but Team Liquid still maintains momentum. They maintain the lead here for now. They'll continue pushing onto the mid lane, tier 1. Xmithie's ulti's not gonna find anybody, but now the fight's gonna be separated. Impact in some trouble, gonna be found by 5 men now. Shut down over to Cloud9.
CoreJJ!
2 for 0 so far. CoreJJ gets nothing, and C9 get 2.
C9 have done it again. They get some kills in a mid-game team fight while down significantly in gold, in map pressure, in power, but they get the 5v5 victory.
And another kill goes to Sneaky, that critical late game carry. TL overstepping their bounds a little bit here, trying to pull off the dive at the same time as this turret, but Svenskeren sees Licorice is on the side with him, and you can just turn and collapse on this two-man squad.
And look at that replay. Completely split off there. Team Liquid had their tank line and their DPS line on the opposite sides of that rock. They did not have Azir auto-attacking. They did not have one of their biggest carries adding anything to that dive. Plus, they started it off with one of Xmithie's kind of famous Sejuani ultimates that was unable to get them the initiation they're looking for.
Like that in the finals.
Cloud9 absolutely punished them.
And that's one of those mistakes that you have to just cut your losses. You see that Glacial Prison fly out and miss, it's time to fall back because Cloud9 knows how to punish.
But still, for TL, they do secure that turret, so it is just the 2 kills for the 1 turret. Certainly nice for Cloud9 from a deficit, but not devastating by any means here for TL, and they are going to have their eyes on this next Infernal. Cloud9 as well knows this will be critical, and that is why we are beginning to see all of this vision really placed here around that dragon on this bottom side of the map, this whole area, trying to set up for potential picks in this next 45 seconds when the Infernal spawns.
I mean, considering they have had to yield every neutral objective so far, both Drakes and the Rift Herald, no contest whatsoever on the side of Cloud9, the question becomes, at what point do you just have to say, gold lead be damned, we're falling too far behind, we're losing too much? If scaling's what you're counting on and you're up against an Azir and a Xayah with triple stacked Infernals, things can be bad. But over the ball they go. Xmithie's in some trouble. The CC coming down. Xmithie's still going to be kept alive. Xmithie goes on a rampage, and Sven gets away. CoreJJ's at 100 HP. Cloud9 bringing in the rest of the cavalry as Nisqy tries to escape. The event horizon comes down, but Jensen is in hot pursuit. Nisqy will continue firing off the spells, buying time for his team to attempt the Infernal. Impact and Jensen will still keep chasing and will finally bring him down.
Yeah, and they're not going to have time to do this Infernal. Svenskeren is too low there. Despite the fact that they get the kill on Xmithie, Nisqy's going to get sectioned off, and it will be TL starting this up, but Svenskeren is staying around for potential steal. Will he be in time?
There's no smite for Team Liquid. Xmithie's coming from base from just dying, but Cloud9 are low on health.
Cloud9 see the opportunity to go in though. Xmithie's got the damage. Svenskaren's gonna be close. He grabs the Inferno. Now they're looking to get the hell out of town. Oh! The Emperor's Divide and the routing of Cloud9.
Impact gonna clean up off that ultimate engage from Jensen there, sweeping Cloud9 off the map, but still, Cloud9 get the Infernal. Can TL run to this Baron and threaten here? I don't think so just yet, but there are pings in the area.
There's also vision control for them, so I'm excited to see what happens in the aftermath. Here's a look at the pick. Zeyzal on the Thresh. He gets the hook. He also saves Svenskeren for now allowing the Xin Zhao to run out after this and be there for the dragon later. Teleports start to come in. Impact roaming up the river, and this chase here on Nisqy actually delays for Xmithie to get back up from Sejuani, run from the base. You can see him running right now. C9 have the plan. They send Svenskeren in with the lantern there. Dark Passage getting him out, but Jensen, their old mid laner, comes to say hi once again, sacrifices himself for 2 kills, pushing them back into Impact.
Yeah, sweeping in that bot lane. Here is the pro view replay here from Jensen. Knowing the lantern is down, knowing the flash was used there by Licorice, sweeps in the bottom lane, does go down as a result, but certainly well worth it on the play.
But we aren't done yet, ladies and gentlemen. Svenskaren's going to be caught out, but CoreJJ's the first to fall. Xin Zhao ultimate doing wonders to keep Cloud9 alive in these fights.
And the Thresh. We said it would shore up some of the weaknesses of Xin Zhao as a champion. Zeyzal is doing just that. These dark passages are keeping him alive.
Yeah, they have been so critical, and CoreJJ, I think, is gonna need to get a QSS to be able to effectively play make in this game. He is getting locked down so heavily by the event horizon, by this Thresh, and really needs the ability to go aggressive and look for those signature engages.
Now these fights continue to be exciting, but Team Liquid still have far more firepower. With the extra gold, they've turned it into items here. Big 2-item power spikes are coming across the board. And very quietly here, Impact now has 5 kills on the Aatrox, that team fighting giant.
Nisqy with a very confident back there, knowing that he was going to get out before the Rakan knockup would have come through. Gets himself away to safety, and here's a little bit of a checkup on that split push situation we were talking about earlier, where the Aatrox will continue building these very powerful duelist items, Black Cleaver, Death's Dance, and Athene's Unholy Grail just doesn't have the same weight to it.
Yeah, I mean, without sort of a healing debuff, you're never even going to threaten Impact. So really all you're trying to do here as Licorice is actually clear the waves and prevent him from getting turret damage. It is no longer about harassing Aatrox whatsoever. You are not going to be able to get anything done there.
Baron alive, 23 minutes into this game, still a 4,000 gold lead for Team Liquid. Despite the fact that these fights have seemingly been favoring Cloud9, that gold lead just continues piling up for the TL squad. 3 turrets to 0. A lot of that, also including plate money, is a massive contribution to this team's lead.
All right, whenever there is one of these stacking champions in the game, like Veigar, I like to check in on the passive. He currently has farmed 183 extra ability power off of the passive for Veigar. So Nisqy is definitely scaling up there, but C9 still have to make creative plays in this game because Team Liquid, holding the vision control over them, are daring anyone to come face check.
And my real question is, is TL comfortable in this position, or will they be the ones to start up there?
Hey!
With the scaling on their side and with the powerful front line, they are going to be content to just continue to farm this one out and wait for C9 to feel that pressure, the lack of vision around the Baron, and try to do something about it.
Cloud9 still just clearing through their own territory right now. You can see most of their wards are placed down on their side of the map. The river controlled by Team Liquid. TL trying to force those wards further into the Cloud9 jungle as well. Scuttle Crab secured in time by Jensen. Of course, Sneaky's able to steal that one away. Cloud9 will try to fight back in the vision war here, but it's pretty difficult considering the control Team Liquid has.
Certainly a tough position here for Cloud9. Xmithie going in.
Oh, Nisqy finds himself jumped on, but a good cleanse getting him away from that. But now the counter engage is coming in, and Team Liquid's got the follow-up. Sneaky flashes away, but it's already a 2 for 0. TL got what they came for, and they're going for Baron.
Baron should be fairly easy for them to pick up. No Smite available to steal it away. So Team Liquid, all they have to do is make sure some random ability doesn't take them down. Nisqy into the river. Impact looking for...
Oh, he stepped out of the bush, so they know he's there. Nisqy could potentially try to steal here with the combo, but that was off on the Baron, and not sure if he's going to have the cooldowns in the vision to even try.
Veigar does an incredible amount of damage. Event Horizon coming down. Baron's going to be secured. CoreJJ taken low, but not going to be taken down just yet. Jensen going in, looking to find those kills. Nisqy's knocked up into the air. Event Horizon's not able to do it. And Impact is on a rampage.
6 kills for the Team Liquid top laner. Baron buff on, and they will take turrets.
Team Liquid wearing purple, marching down the top lane. They'll summon up the Sun Disc to protect their back, and now this game is looking dire for Cloud9.
And it was all off the engage there by Xmithie in the mid lane. The Event Horizon down. He finds his opportunity here. As soon as that gets dropped, he says, go, go, go. They know they're not going to have that critical defensive tool. CoreJJ coming in from the side, the charm and knock up on multiple members, and they get shredded.
And CoreJJ flashes inside the Xin Zhao ultimate there to avoid any possibility he gets knocked back by Svenskeren. Really good instant flash there. Everyone getting inside. They finish off the 2 kills so quickly, taking off the enemy's smite and opening up this push.
And Team Liquid is a team that has a low average game time. They finish games quickly. Once they have the edge, they're fast to put it in their opponent's heart. And I want to see that here now. Can they end this game off of that single Baron?
With these critical items coming in here for the bot laners, QSS now available for DoubleLift and CoreJJ. They can play much more aggressively, not having to be as worried about potential hooks and that Event Horizon coming out of the Veigar.
Impact remains on split push duty, putting the damage onto the turret, gets himself away with the dash. The Event Horizon not quite going to spawn in time to lock him down there. One more shot from that cannon minion. Never mind, he's distracted. They're close to taking out that tier 2 though, as the tier 2 mid lane also finds itself under siege by the rest of Team Liquid. Jensen actually setting up shop in the top side now, the 1-3-1 from TL.
There are also 2 Quicksilver Sashes that have easily responded here to any sort of answer from Cloud9, so I don't know how they're actually going to find that opening. Honestly, you have to have like 2 forms of initiation to be able to even catch one of those guys.
I mean, there's Banshee Veil on the mid laner. There's a stopwatch on the jungler. There's, so many answers to the Cloud9 engage, and Cloud9 just getting pushed back here.
TL going in again. They're going to get the ultimate out of Nisqy and most of his health bar as well. Redemption coming down to keep everybody strong on the push. Jensen sieging top. The rest are mid. Impact still set up in the bottom side. And Team Liquid's 3-pronged attack will make its way into the Cloud9 base.
Cloud9 really up against the wall here. They need to make some sort of a play, it seems, very, very soon, or they are going to be losing multiple inhibitors here. But TL are not dissuaded even by that event horizon closing in on their second inhibitor.
Inhibitor number 1 down, inhibitor number 2, couple more auto attacks. Number 3 now the target. Everybody from TL down here just trying to get Cloud9 away. C9 not finding much of a chance to fight. They're looking to go in on Impact, maybe able to shut him down. Nisqy grabs the kill, but C9 are still going to be forced away, and they will still lose inhibitor number 3. A man down, but not deterred. Team Liquid will look for the Nexus turrets. Number 1 is gone, and number 2 is under pressure. Xmithie's almost caught out, but he dashes himself to safety. Team Liquid is not through yet. They maintain their position in this base, but as Cloud9 heals up, TL falls back.
Cloud9 have to be careful not to overchase right now.
Svenskeren goes way too far forward and gets eviscerated by DoubleLift's feathers. Licorice has to flash out, and TL says, thank you for the opportunity. We'll go right back to what we were doing. Xmithie's stopwatch keeps him alive, and Jensen brings down the Emperor's Divide. C9 are forced back into the fountain, and Team Liquid are putting the damage into the Nexus. C9 holds on for now, but with a TP coming in and health bars running low, TL takes game 1.
Jensen sending a message with that final play, flashing onto Nisqy, knocking him into the team, and telling him to get out of his game.
Punished for leaving that Azir up. Team Liquid, from the early stages of the game, able to get a lot of gold. Cloud9 really going to have a difficulty responding after that opener. Changes will be made in Champ Select.
I do want to give credit to Cloud9, though. The mid-game plays they were able to make to come out on top in the team fights were impressive considering how far behind they were. But when you look at the turrets and the plates and the leads built by Team Liquid, and the fact that one mistake in the mid lane that TL was able to punish led to a Baron, led to a game, TL is not a team that you can allow them to build those leads.
Yeah, the most impressive thing for me here was Team Liquid's preparation. The obvious preparation for Nisqy and Svenskeren looking for those 2v2s, for them to attack Jensen. There were so many early game wards around that mid lane, preventing a lot of the opportunities that Svenskeren was looking for. And even when he found them, Xmithie was there waiting. They're bringing down multiple members. They are trying to attack the strong point of C9 and shut them down.